So this is my stratagem list for Helldivers 2. Alright, let's start off with the... actually, this music is really fucking annoying, so I'm going to turn it off. Alright, so let's start with machine gun. Machine gun, just C tier. Okay, it's not the greatest. It gets replaced very quickly. It's great for crowd control, but it's really more of a starter sort of weapon. You know, one of the first stratagems you get, and then you'll later move on to another weapon that I'll get to in a minute. The sniper rifle is also C tier. It's fun. It's kind of like a variety weapon, but it's not. It only penetrates light armor. If you wanted to make this more of a viable weapon for actual, like, higher difficulties, you'd have to have this penetrate armor, because no one's going to give away a stratagem slot for a weapon that doesn't do that, unless it's for crowd control. But this does not do that. But it's still fun. It's fun, but the hard part is switching in and out of scoped, like first person to third person. It's just not something you want to be doing. Alright, Stalwart is B tier. It's more mobile, it's got a faster rate of fire, and it's just better than machine gun. I mean, as soon as you get the Stalwart stratagem, you are going to drop the machine gun. And it's really good until it gets to sort of more high level, or not higher difficulty, where you're really running into a lot more armored enemies. You're running into enemies that don't clump together as much, and just way more of them, and it's not really as good then. Alright, the expendable shot. This is I'm going to say it's S tier. Okay. People are going to hate me for that, or they might be contentious, but it has probably one of the best cooldowns. You don't have to reload it. Other people can pick it up. You can use it on just, groups of enemies or for high level mobs. I'm not sure it will take out tanks, and I don't think it'll take out, some things that a spear might, but it will take out chargers if you hit them in the right spot. I don't know, I think it's really good. And I think it's something I wouldn't mind having one of my stratagem slots be taken up by, is this, because the cooldown time is so quick. You can call it in for defensive positions and have other people, they can just pick it up and fire. I really think it's helpful in that regard. Alright, the recoilless rifle. I mean, I think it's C tier. I understand the idea of it, but in quick play, where people do not cooperate the same way they do, sort of, if you're a group of testers or developers, you're gonna play together, you're gonna cooperate. People don't act like that in quick play, and most people play quick play. A bunch of losers. Yes, but still, the losers have to play the game too. I'm not saying I'm a loser too, but it's fine. I play quick play, but like, I've had one person do reloading. It was like a level 5, so it must have been brand new, and it was actually for the autocannon, but it wasn't for this. But the power level of the weapon went up tremendously, tremendously. But you have to have teamwork and cooperation in order to do that, and in most quick play scenarios, you just don't. So I mean, if the reload time was shorter, maybe it'd go B tier. It's got a lot of shots, but I don't see it. Flamethrower is also C tier. There's really no reason to use a flamethrower, because better weapons are available. It's fun, but it's in higher difficulties. No one uses a flamethrower because it's not effective enough. But it's fun. It also it doesn't take up a backpack slot, and it runs out of fuel pretty quickly. So I don't know. I think it's fine as a C tier variety weapon, but it's not the greatest. Fun though. All right, autocannon is obviously S tier. Now, it's not as good for the bugs as it is for the Autobots, but I think that pretty much this is the best weapon against Autobots. And I think if you have a team of 4 people who all have autocannons, you just wreck shit. You just wreck shit. It's so good for that particular purpose. Reloading's a little slow, but like you can pick off a whole like 3 drop ships worth of people as long as there's no heavy with an autocannon. It's probably the best support weapon in the game. Railgun, I'm gonna put a B because I don't use it, but I can see how people would use it against certain types of enemies. But my problem is it doesn't penetrate heavy armor. And it feels weird to use, having to charge up every shot. I mean, if I clicked a button and it sort of charged up and automatically released it, that would be one thing. But like, I get it, it's a skill weapon, but like, I need my support weapon to either be incredible on crowd control or have the ability to take out heavies. Otherwise, I'm just not going to give a slot for it. The spear is lower C tier, believe it or not. It can one-shot battle titans. It can take out pods. It can take out tanks in one hit. The problem is the tracking and lock-on doesn't fucking work. And until it does, it would jump right up to A tier if it was good. Like if the tracking worked. It just doesn't. And, you know, in the higher difficulties, you just can't have it not work half the time, at best. So it's solid C tier. Is this, I don't know which one this is. This looks like the laser. Which one's this? Am I gonna have to launch the fucking game? Alright. I don't know about these other ones. I think these are barrages. That's precision strike, so we'll go with this one. I think it's A tier. It's easy to use. It's kind of a starter, but it still has the ability to come down and deliver a heavy blow on. Like it can take out lots of different things and heavies, which is basically half the game at like higher difficulties is taking out heavies. So it's good like that. It's good for that. And it's got a very easy stratagem to use. You can call it down quickly, not have to think too much. It's just not quite enough damage, I don't think. I think it basically gets replaced by the 500-pound bomb, which I think is S tier. Because it just does everything the orbital strike does, except it just does it faster and the explosion is bigger. Here we go. Here's the laser. The laser is also S tier. And I think the laser, if we had to go like there, that seems about right. Laser auto tracks. It takes out heavies. It can take out those weird scanners where you can't throw the stratagem too close because it'll bounce down the hill because the terrain is not right or whatever. Take out turrets. It can just sort of eviscerate a base. The only thing that sucks is the cooldown time, but that's not even that big of a deal. You just go to a heavy nest or you go to a heavy automaton base or whatever. You just throw that thing. Chances are it's going to take out most. It's just sort of a set it and forget it, and the auto tracking. It's the best one. I almost never don't run it, except perhaps in like very short, quick missions where I want something with a lower cooldown time. But I almost always run it. orbital barrage of bullshit. Alright, I'm just gonna put, I think the only barrages that are worthwhile are these two. And I think this is the rail cannon strike, but these are all D tier. The rail cannon strike, it has a shitty cooldown time. It doesn't track after it takes out a heavy. I think it's pretty like low B. I almost want to say C, but I'll leave it a low B for now. The sort of machine gun airstrike. That's probably highest D. It's very good at the start, but once you have more than a few enemies, it just kind of sucks. You don't want to have to keep calling it over and over and over and over again. Alright, airstrike is clearly A tier. It's fast. It takes out a bunch of heavies. There's not quite enough damage spread in higher levels to justify it, but it's still pretty good. I will still run at higher levels. The problem eventually you run into is that firepower just outpowers absolutely everything at a high level. I mean, it's the most important thing. So you can't take something that's not as good as something else, even if it has a better usage, because the priority is just firepower over everything. Cluster bomb, I just think it's the worst. You kill all. It seems good, but you kill your own teammates way too often. Viable on the right mission. Yeah, I don't think the missions are that different. You're either facing bugs or you're facing automatons. You're not. Doesn't really change it. Napalm strike. That's here. Maybe it's the highest B tier. No, not highest. Stalwart's better, but it's not bad, and it kind of creates a little wall. The problem is that if you can't call it in too close, because then other people or yourself will catch fire, and then you'll have to either waste a stim, or if you don't catch it quick enough, you could die. Jetpack. In that C. It's a variety thing. There's no real functionality other than, maybe getting up high. But that's just a slot that could go to another stratagem, which, you probably might need. Because at the end of the day, getting up high, you can just run up to most places. It's not really going to be terribly effective when you just run out of stratagems and you need another airstrike or a 500-pound bomb to take out a whole field of fucking guys. So, all right, I'm going to put the smoke B, because there might be a place for it. I just don't know where it is. Because, again, the problem is that firepower is just better than anything else. Like, why create a wall of smoke when you can just call an airstrike and take out half the guys that are shooting at you? It doesn't make any sense. You have a slot that's wasted, essentially. I mean, it's not wasted, but it could just... Because the airstrike has the function of also being able to take out heavies. It has the function of also being able to take out not Bile Titans, but damage them at least. You can use it in defensive. This you can only use to just shield, and the guys are still there anyways. Which maybe is kind of useful sometimes. Maybe if you're on a time mission, you just got to run by a whole bunch of guys or escape. But taking all the enemies out is most often the better practice anyways. So I'm going to put orbital next to the smoke because the smoke should be in the same place. don't know what this one is. Oh, rocket pods. Right. I think they're there. I don't think the rocket pods are very good. They don't take out enough stuff. They do have a quick cooldown time, but I mean, I just think the airstrike's better. This can't take out heavies. This can. That's it. That's the debate. Toxic gas. I think it might have a place if it like stayed a long time and was, more widespread. But I just don't think it does as a current state. You could have like a mission where, I don't know, you're in tunnels or something, and this would be really helpful. But like, I don't think it does enough damage. I don't think it stays long enough. Whatever. Oh, this is the MS strike. I've never used this one, but it does run into the same problem. In that, why not just take out the person? Like, why settle for something that's just a lesser version of something else? The man turret? What the fuck is this one? No, we'll do this one. Shield is better than smoke, and it's better than the rail strike, and it's better than that and that. I would say it's the second best. For automatons specifically, because obviously in bugs this is not useful at all, but for automatons it's there because it can be incredibly useful, but your team has to be running something with regards to that and or that and or that, and if but it's got a really good cooldown. It does work. I don't know. It's just you want firepower more. These ones I'm not going to rank. Grenade launcher is S tier. You can use it against automatons and it will work fine. It doesn't take up a backpack. It's not that long to reload. Basically, it's one shot on most mobs. For Terminids, you can use it to close holes very easily. You can use it to destroy eggs. It doesn't really have much effect on heavies, but it is very effective at crowd control. It's probably I'd say it's almost right there next to the autocannon. Laser cannon is just the worst. I don't know why they have it in the game. It looks cool. So I'll put it above the cluster bomb because that kills everybody. But the turret where you man it, I've never used this. I can't rank it, but I don't imagine it's very good. Tulsa Tower, never used it. Been killed by it though. Minefields. I suppose I'd rather have a minefield than a lot of other things. But then again, actually, I think I'd rather have a barrage than a minefield and rocket pods. Probably most of these weapons I would rather have. I think that should go down. Yeah, minefields should be right there. Same with all the other kind of mines. Yeah. They're not quite as good. They're not really effective. And again, it's about substitution. You want these ones, and you only have 4 slots. Is it fun to use? Kind of. Will you blow up a lot of your teammates? Sure. So if you want to blow up your teammates, use that in the cluster bomb, and they'll kick you from group or leave if they can. That might be your goal. I don't know. EMS mortar. Put it right there. rockets. I think those are rockets. Forget which one's which. Machine gun. I'd almost rather have a minefield than a machine gun mortar, just because it's the worst mortar. Sentry, I mean. Gatling Sentry is better than the EMS. Actually, it's up here. I'd much rather have it. Actually, nope. Actually, it's A tier. I'd put it on A tier. Not necessarily high A tier, but it's good. Mortar, low A tier. Rockets, probably up here. What the fuck is this? No, this is the autocannon one. Still pretty good, but I'd say the machine gun is slightly better. And yeah, that's good. Rockets, I think they're the best sentry. You have to position them right, but I still think they're very good. Supply pack, I have never used this, and I don't know why. You get a resupply often enough. If you're running out of ammo that much, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe if you need a lot of grenades, but I still think I'll put it below gas because it's better than this. It's better to have a supply of grenades for ammo for your teammates than it is to have this thing. The packs. Okay, arc thrower. I mean, I think you get the blitzer, and that's just a better arc weapon. And I really can't see using this that much. It's fun. It's a variety weapon, so we'll put it C. Because it's about fun. I don't know. Is this a battery pack or... This is the guard dog. That's the other guard dog. The laser guard dog is better. And I'd say it's right here. It's better than all this, but I don't think it's as good as it might be good as a sentry in some situations, but I think in a lot of situations you just need the firepower more. And I will put the gun guard dog is not quite, because the laser gives you kind of an indication of where the enemies are, and that does help. Personal battery pack. I don't think it's particularly useful, but I am going to put a caveat. On the right mission, I do think it would be incredibly useful. And this last one, I don't remember what that is. What the bloody hell is that? Looks like a key. Alright, unsorted. Alright, that's going to be my tier list. If you think I'm wrong, leave it. But I think looking at the S and the A, that's pretty solid. Or laser, 500 pound. Autocannon, grenade launcher, expendable. Orbital strike probably actually is down here. Yeah, airstrike, turrets. I mean, these are kind of shiftable depending on the mission, but I think they're generally in the same class. That's in the same class. Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate, actually. All right, let me know what you think, and if you watch, thanks.